To part 20 and the final part of the Dubstep Glitch Power course. My name is Tom Cosm, and we are working on the breakdown leading up to the second drop here. This is the final part. Well, the outro is going to be final, but that's a piece of piss really. So let's see what we've got here. Right, first thing, let's grab those build-ups that we had. We can use this white noise here, so that's going to lead up to the breakdown. Now let's take the main build-up, let's chuck it over this entire breakdown. Remember the breakdown is 32, what was it, 16 bars long? 16 bars long. So that's just going to build up over time. We can just take what we've done in the intro, that's fine. We get to have another crash there. Alright, now that last, let's take that last little bass line sound here, what we've got. Let's put one more here, so I'm just going to make the grid smaller. Just select that first note, because I know that note's a D, which is what we want, because we want it to hit on that first, the root note of the chord run, which is D. Let's make it lower, so notes, all shift down. Whoops, all shift down. Cool, it's quite a cool note. So I'm going to use some send return tracks here to delay this out, because I think that'd be quite a cool effect. Now, a send return track, if you're unfamiliar, I'm just going to go over to session mode here, just so you get a better idea. Of course, remember this is arrangement view. If we hit tab, we go to session view, which has everything laid down vertically for us. So this is the bass track we're working on. Here's our level. What I want to do is I want to send that to one of these return tracks. We've got two set up by default. We only need one, so I'm going to delete one. So we've got a return. Now return tracks sit over here next to the master. They don't. You can't put clips in them. You can't put synths or samples in them. They just kind of sit there. You put effects on them. They just sit there waiting for a signal, and you can send anything to it by turning up the A value on the channel. And if we go back into arrangement view, you'll see that value is here. So if I put something on the send, so let's just say, just for fun, a ping pong delay like this. Now if I bring the send up on this, it will play it without it, with it. So it's sent that signal to the master and the ping pong delay, and then the ping pong's just kind of sitting there. So we could send anything to it. We could send the crash symbol to it, for example. Where's the crash? Up here. Let's bring it up. We could send the toms to it on that fill. But we're going to use this bass line here. Now, I don't want a ping pong delay. I'm going to use a filter delay, and I'll explain why. It's because the filter delay allows the feedback to go up to 100%. If I load up a ping pong delay here, see, ping pong only lets us go up to 95%, which is usually good because 100% means it'll continuously keep going, and that can become a real problem, especially if you don't know what's actually playing their signal when you get lost, and it just starts getting more and more full on. So get rid of that. So let's turn off the left right one. We don't need that. Let's turn the feedback of the left up to 100%, feedback of the right up to 100%, bring the dry down, because the dry signal is already being played by this. Remember, this is getting sent to the master, and it's going to get sent to A. So we don't need this one to play the original sound as well, because that's already covered. So if we go feedback 100%, then 100%, I'm going to put them all on 3/16 notes, which is a nice delay time, and let's bring these bandpass filters up, all these filters right up. So bring them right up. So it's going to play the entire signal. Now let's have a listen. Oh, one thing we need to do is, just like every other parameter, if we click on the send value, this is the send, this is the return. So we want to send this to this return track. So clicking on it, we can use our pen tool and we can go like that. So now when that note plays, that's going to jump up and send it over here. Let's have a listen. Great, so you can see how that's going to keep going forever. So that can be a bit of a problem, especially when we're in production mode and we want to keep changing it and changing it. It's just going to keep doubling up. So if I play it a few times, very annoying. So what we can do is we can right click and group this into a rack, bring up our macros, we can map the feedback to that macro and that feedback to the same macro. So now this macro controls the feedback. Now if we go into keys mode over here, something we haven't explored yet, if you're not familiar in Ableton, if you go into keys mode or MIDI mode, you can assign an external thing to control a parameter. So for example, if I went to MIDI mode and picked this knob and turned a knob, then that knob would now be assigned to that parameter. But we've got keys as well. That means we can use keys on the keyboard. So you see how everything goes orange. Anything that can be changed with a key goes orange. So if I click on my macro and hit 1 on my keyboard, see how there's a little 1 there, go out of keys mode. Now when I push 1, it's going to go from 0 to 100%. So this is really handy. So now whenever I get lost, I just hit 1 and it will stop. And then I push 1 to turn the delay back on. 1 like that. Great. So that's just a quick little tip. So when that's delaying out, I'm going to add an auto filter, chuck it into a high pass. Make sure we turn the 1 on again. Cool. And now, so that's what I'm going to play with. So just like any other channel, the return channels allow you to do parameter automation over time. So I'm going to have that down. You see we've selected the frequency, we can move it up and down. Let's, there's a second drop there. So let's have this auto filter, high passing the delay, make it go up. And let's bring it down again. Up and down, let's see how that goes. Alright, let's chuck a reverb on there. Bring the dry wet down, right down. And we'll have that slowly come in as well, to about 50%. And we'll give it a bit of decay time. And take the high cut off and the low, put the low cut on, just so we're reverberating the high end of it. Bring the volume down a bit. Let's put those drums back, those initial intro drums. Need to bring that reverb back up. See that delay, that delay is just going to keep going. We'll do something cool with that in a sec. I just want to introduce you to the frequency shifter. I think this would sound good over this delay. So the frequency shifter will take the incoming signal. We're going to put it after the auto filter before the reverb. Take the incoming signal and it will pitch shift it depending on what this frequency knob does. So if I select this frequency knob and say halfway through, double click a point, double click 0 Hz. Now it's very sensitive this, so I'm only going to go up. I'm going to hold down the command key. It's only go up about 300. Let's see how that sounds. It could be too much. Turn the delay back on with our 1 key. Just wait for that frequency shifter to kick in. Now, we're quite fortunate there because that random kind of state of the frequency knob on the frequency shifter, that actually works into our favour because it raises the pitch of this kind of in tune with the rest of the song here, so it's quite annoying. But it's going to work. So, like before, I think it would be really cool if we use the gate here afterwards. So when it drops, so I'm going to turn the gate off, but when it drops, we'll have the gate come on. Well, get rid of that point. So the gate's going to come on, and we'll borrow that gating. Where are we? We'll borrow that gating dummy track that we had before for this bass line. So remember, this is just playing just kind of random notes that aren't actually getting played, but they're sending a signal. So if I drag this all the way across, go down here to my audio effects, sidechain this gate and take it from the bass 5 gate. So I'm borrowing it. So when the second drop happens, the gate's going to turn on and it's going to gate that annoying pitch delay sound in time to the music, which could or could not sound bad. So let's cross our fingers. 1 to 10 on the delay, and let's go. I'm really happy with that. That sounds cool. I'm going to make sure when the second element part comes in that we're going to locate a point. Let's just automate that macro, which is the feedback. So I'm just going to go Command B and bring it right down, just so it doesn't go on forever. That's really neat. I'm quite happy with how this is going. Now, there's one last thing that I thought I'd share with you, which I think is quite a neat little trick. Now, after this Sims 2, I'm going to create a new audio track, and I'm going to drag in the vocal sample, we'll call this vocal, of Stephen, who did the funny intro to the video, which is here. So I've just got this.
Do you want to?
Just going to drag that in.
Do you want to create your own super fat bass lines?
Now this is one. This is it's analyzed this and tried to warp it. It's thought that it's a piece of music. We don't want that. So we're going to turn warping off. And I'm just going to flick ahead and find a good part of this that I want. There's a part that I want.
Join Tom Cosum at
That's me.
start to finish. The bullshit-free dubstep and glitch hop power course. Extreme.
Nice. So I'm going to take that. I've selected that part of the audio. I'm going to do Command E. Okay, so that Command E is consolidate. No, it's split, sorry. Split. So it's taking that as its own clip. So now I can get rid of stuff on the left, stuff on the right. I'm going to drag this down to where we've got breakdown.
The bullshit-free dubstep and glitch hop power course. Extreme.
I'm going to do something interesting here. Now, just to give you an example of how this works, here's a new audio track. Go back into my samples. Let's see if we can just find a drum loop. He's got drum loop, breaks drum loop. Have you got anything slower? Hip hop. 105. I just need to find something. That'll do. So I'm just going to drag that loop in for you, and if I warp it, like so, you see how we've got these little grey markers. These are called pseudo markers. And they've kind of picked up the transient, so Ableton Live has analysed this and figured that that's where the actual beats are, and you can see by the waveform that that's where they are. What you can do is you can right-click on clips, and you can go slice to new MIDI track. Now I'll bring up this little area for us, and it says what you're telling it to do is to cut the sample up into individual hits, put them into a drum rack for you. So it's quite cool it's mainly used for dropping up drums. So go create one slice per transient. So those are those little bumps that we saw. So that's where it's figured it out. You can choose 16th notes or 30 seconds, so it'll just chop it in perfect increments. But we'll just go transient by now, and that'll do. We're just going to go OK, and it'll go analyze the sample for us, give us a new MIDI track, and I'll just delete the MIDI out of it and we'll just delete that audio track altogether. You see how it's given us a drum rack. So it's gone through. Isn't that neat? So it's gone through and it's chopped all of those individual samples and given it to us in a nice, easy way that we could program some beats in. Now, why'd you show me that? Well, you can do it for vocals too. It's really, really neat. I actually learned this trick off a great guy called Danny Benici, another certified trainer over in Australia. He showed us this technique, and I'm going to show you a few variants of it. So if we take this vocal sample of old mate here,
The bullshit-free dubstep and glitch hop power course. Extreme.
let's double click it, warp it, just so we can have a look. So I see it's kind of picked out those transients for us there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we right click on it, slice it to MIDI, just like before. Whoops, slice to MIDI. Go OK. Delete the vocal track, don't need it anymore. Because it's given us that new one. Just delete that. We'll call this vocal. Slice. Now we've got all these funny little consonant sounds. Now if we open up the MIDI clip it's given us, you see how it's laid it out exactly the same timing as it's getting hard to see, as the original.
The bullshit-free dubstep and glitch hop power course.
So that's actually playing through all the samples at the perfect timing. Look, watch.
The bullshit-free dubstep and glitch hop power course.
And then we could change that, bring the decay down, which is how long those samples last.
The bullshit-free dubstep.
Bring the sustain down too.
Bullshit-free dubstep and the bullshit-free dubstep and glitch hop power course. The bullshit-free dubstep.
It's a really cool effect. I haven't done that before. I might just write that down. Hang on. We got this decay, sustain, slice. All right.
The bullshit-free dubstep and.
I'm going to bring the sustain back up. Now I'm going to open up this MIDI clip. I'm going to delete it. We don't need it. So let's add in. I'm going to add in a Command Shift M, my own MIDI clip. I'm going to go to the bottom slice, make it a big long note. It's not very helpful at the moment, is it? But if we go over to our effects area, our plugin devices, our live devices, we can use our set of MIDI effects. So these are kind of mathematical effects that go before a machine, a synthesizer, or a sampler. They go before it. So they do crazy things like we've got pitch. So if I put a pitch here, and let's play one of these samples. Bear with me. Wait, up. So I'm playing a note. Where's C? I'm playing the first one. If I bring the pitch up, play the next one. So that'll just change the pitch of the incoming signal and then plus it up by whatever you give it and then send it to the machine. That's one of them. What I really like is the arpeggiator. So an arpeggiator will take a continuous note, mainly this one here, and it will it'll rhythmically cut it up and play a whole bunch of individual notes instead. So it's set to eighth notes at the moment. So if I was just to play here, the reason I turned the channel from auto to off is sometimes when it's in auto mode it doesn't play the first one when you've got an arpeggiator. So listen, see how it's missing that first note? I'm going to solo this, but if I have it off, great, so that's a good one. We can change the rate. Let's make it 16th notes. We can make the gate. This is how short the note is. We can go groove, swing 16. I mean, we could go through, instead of having one long note here, we could go, alright, well, let's play this one here, and this one here, and this one here, because we've got the arpeggiator going. But we won't do that. I want to introduce you to one more MIDI effect. Now, this is really cool. So, I'm going to use this one called random. So I'm putting the random after the arpeggiator. So the signal is coming in, this constant C, this constant note, which is the first slice, hitting the arpeggiator. The arpeggiator is splitting it up into 16th notes with a gate of 25, sending it to a random, and then the random is going to randomize what particular note is going to be sent here. So at the moment it's got choices 12, so that's 12 semitones. Well, let's have a look. We've got 25 slices, so we can actually make choices go up to 24. That'll do. Now if we bring the chance up, this is how much chance there is that it will actually randomly play a note. So this is going to be interesting. It's going to play 16th note, swung 16th note hits, and pick random slices from our sample. So let's do this for a start. Let's just jump ahead and listen to it over the drop. Now we're not just restricted, let's hit that one, we're not just restricted to 16th, we could go. Now that's all good, so we can automate that, but the thing is it's still going to play randomly, and I mean, it's really nice for an instant effect, and it's really nice to get some new inspiration, but the problem is it's just going to play random. It's nice to have a little bit of a loop. So what we can do is I'm going to create one more MIDI track here. Now this is cool, and we're going to call this. We'll call this. Fuck. We'll call it dummy for now. And the dummy clip, that is where the MIDI is going to play. So I'm going to drag this MIDI note down to here to the dummy clip. Go into our vocal slice. We're going to take the arpeggiator and the random. They're going to go on the dummy clip too. So now there's nothing here, okay? But with just like audio tracks, how we can send it to the master or we can send it to different areas of the tune, we can also do the same for MIDI. So if I use this dummy track, which it's still generating data. There's no audio, but you can see how it's still generating data here. We can send that data to somewhere. And where do we want to send it? Vocal slice. So this is quite interesting. And we need to turn the input on here, the monitor on. So this track is now listening for some MIDI information. It's not listening for audio, it's not listening for sidechain information, it's listening for actual MIDI data, and this track is the one that's going to be sending it. So now it'll do exactly the same thing. This one's telling what to do, this one's doing it. So now we could go into this dummy clip and let's go rate. I really liked playing with that rate before, so let's just draw in some automation. Let's make that faster. Maybe there. Cool, so I'm just going to copy that lane down. And, sorry, open that up for us so we can select that and duplicate it. Make the grid smaller, it's going to be confusing. So we can duplicate that across. So we have 4 instances, but it's still playing random. This dummy is random. But, here we go. If we hit record, it's going to record the MIDI data from this into the channel. So we can set it on random, let it play out, and then find a particular part of that randomized shit that we did that we liked, and then we can take that and loop it. So remember, record on here, make sure this track is armed, and let's go. Cool. So I'm just gonna do that amount there. We can get rid of the dummy clip now. And now look. You turn this to off. I like that part there. So I'm just going to copy that, or we can go Command J and consolidate it, drag it here, double click it, turn it into a loop, and then we have a nice loop. So it's just a bit of a long-winded way to get the result, but it's quite fun because you can just put this on random and I mean you can do this with anything. You can set up MIDI tracks to send MIDI information to synths, to samplers, to anything, and then you can just hit record, sit back, have a cup of tea, and then you're like, oh, that part, that was really good. All right, let's roll with that. So let's listen to this. It's gonna EQ it a bit. It's a bit fucking EQ8. Spring. And of course we can go into this clip and change anything we want. So. If we turn the headphone on, we can hear it as we move it around. Let's duplicate this track just for fun. Let's split one to the left, one to the right. And let's put remember how we were using the pitch before? Oh no, that won't work. Let's use let's put a frequency shifter after one. Let's bring it up a little bit. So one's just playing slightly, this is playing slightly high, more pitch than the other side. And let's group these together. Shift click them, right click them, go group. Call this vocals, and now we can put something on the vocals group. So we've got 1, 2, and they're kind of inside this. So this can be, we can have effects as well. So I'm just going to drag this down a bit bigger. Let's use a high pass filter to bring it in. So auto filter, chuck it on high pass, and play with this frequency. So it goes. Make sure we have that delay on, of course. Pretty good. Let's do something here to change it. What if we take maybe take this frequency shifter down? Oh no, let's duplicate it one more time. One more time. So we've got 3 copies. We'll delete all this part here. Turn the one off. Delete this part here. Put this back into the middle. So just when it drops, this is going to be slightly different somehow. We've got that frequency shifter. What if we bring the frequency down? It's kind of cool. Maybe if we redux it, could be a bit too hard. And let's use that filter delay trick to spread it out, left, right, off, sync off, like that, up there, bring the dry down. There's a bit too much highs. Maybe just bring it down here. Maybe see how the frequency shifter has an LFO as well. Maybe we could put the LFO up. Turn the rate on. It's kind of weird. Could work. Could change it a bit slower. Change the shape to a ramp up. Take the phasing off, because the phasing, we've already got our stereo effect thing here. No, I liked it off. well, let's just for fun, let's split those chords. Let's select all and make them an octave higher. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that breakdown. Now let's quickly do the outro. I'm just going to use drums here. I'm just going to make the grid smaller, take that drum loop, chuck it over here. We'll only make it fucking 16 long. Make sure that's looped. Maybe bring those vocals in at the end. Be quite fun. Duplicate them across. Let's for the outro, let's just bring that first womp sound. It's good. Bring the crash across and do it again. And one more time. Duplicate this. Bring this guy in. That's good, and we'll put one drum fill in there. Very simple. I mean, you can be more elaborate with the outro if you want. I don't tend to focus on them that much. Let's just grab that white noise, build up, wherever it was. Here. Chuck it at all. Put the toms in the wrong place. Right, let's listen from the start. Yeah. Fuck yeah, we got a track. I'm going to switch over into session mode, just so we can watch all the nice levels, because it's kind of fun to watch. Just going to bring these short. I'm holding down the Option or Alt key here to make these smaller, just so we can see all of our tracks. Got lots of tracks, don't we? Nice. Get rid of this. Bring that smaller. Like so. Alright. I want to see everything. I'm going to bring these down. There you go. I'll make the drums smaller. Okay, let's go. Awesome. Get some white noise somewhere here. What are we missing? Yeah, we got some white noise. Let's get rid of that. That last one was cool. The bass line there. Cool. That's it. Yeah, thank you so much. I hope you've learned a lot. I can't believe that's finished. That was a lot of fun. I won't ramble on. That's a fucking cool tune, and I hope you can sit down and recreate it, come up with your own ideas, make your own versions of it, and just thoroughly enjoy yourself and learn a lot when doing it. And don't forget, you can chat at tomcosm.com or cosm.co.nz. There's forums, ask questions. I'm there, other people are there, and we're always there to help. Cheers, guys. It's been awesome.